It is now my honor and privilege to introduce our featured speaker, Dean Deborah N. Archer, President of the American Civil Liberties Union and Associate Dean for Experiential Education and Clinical Programs at the New York University School of Law, where she also serves as co-director of Clinical and Advocacy Programs, Professor of Clinical Law, and co-faculty director of the Center on Race, Inequality, and the Law. Born and raised here in our wonderful state of Connecticut, Dean Archer is a graduate of Smith College and earned her JD degree from Yale Law School. Following law school, she clerked for Judge Alvin Thompson of the United States District Court for the District of Connecticut. She has worked as an attorney with the ACLU and the NAACP Legal Defense and Education Fund, and served as chair of the New York City Civilian Complaint Review Board. Dean Archer is one of the leading civil rights leaders of our time, an award-winning teacher and scholar, and an expert in civil liberties and racial justice. In 2021, she became the first person of color to lead the ACLU as president in its 101-year history, and it is truly an honor to have her with us today as we celebrate our historic commencement. Please join me in welcoming Dean Archer.
Good morning. When I heard that introduction, which is far too kind and I appreciate it, I thought, wow, I have a lot of jobs. I need to do something about that. But also, now I'm not sure that I can live up to that introduction, but thank you very much. Thank you all for inviting me to join you. It really is an honor to be here with you to celebrate your graduation from UConn Law School. To the soon-to-be graduates, I wish you a hearty and heartfelt congratulations. And to the parents and the kids, the spouses and the partners, the siblings and the friends, the family and the faculty, and everyone else who helped to make this day possible for you, I wish you congratulations as well. I know this is a big year for UConn. I am not much of a sports fan, but I understand from my sons that you have won some kind of basketball tournament or something. And so I will add to my congratulations, go Huskies. So, commencements always remind me of The Wizard of Oz. In the movie, the Cowardly Lion, the Tin Man, and the Scarecrow come together to help Dorothy defeat the Wicked Witch. But they don't realize how incredibly impressive they are until the wizard makes it official with fanfare, with medals, and with paper. And that's the same thing here. Just like the Scarecrow, you've already proven you have a brain just by getting accepted to UConn Law and making it to this day. Like the Tin Man, you've proven you have a heart through fellowships, externships, through your participation in legal clinics. Some of you have even worked for the ACLU. It's good to see you, ACLU family. You've already begun helping those most in need of justice. Dean Nelson listed many things that you've done, but you've helped to lead efforts to repeal Connecticut's pay-to-stay law. You helped to keep people in their homes after they faced eviction. You fought for asylum for immigrants fleeing gangs in Honduras, violence in Afghanistan, and political persecution in the Congo. And like the Cowardly Lion, you've proven you have courage by choosing a profession that's always been challenging, whose practice often involves high stakes for you and the clients and communities that you serve. We all know that you won't actually be any smarter, braver, or more compassionate an hour from now than you are right now. But as soon as you're handed your diploma by the wizard, and I'm sorry, Dean Nelson, I had to continue with the analogy, you'll be official, and the world will know as well, and so for that, you deserve all the congratulations and celebration that you're getting today. I promise not to take too much of your time this morning. I know that today is a day of celebration. It's Mother's Day, and my mother's waiting for me in Windsor, Connecticut, and I know that I am standing in the way of you getting those diplomas and the well-earned celebrations that are going to follow. But because you are graduates of this great institution, I know that you are aware that out there, just outside the ring of this celebration lies a more sobering reality. And while I promise not to steal the joy of the day, I want to say a few words about the challenges out there in the world that you are going to leave this space and go help lead. And I feel comfortable doing this because I know that you are concerned with the world. I know that you take your obligations as members of our local, national, and global communities very seriously. And so I want to speak about how I hope you will move through the world as new lawyers with this responsibility to our local, state, national, and global community. And first, I want to remind you to always remember that you belong. It's actually something that I often have to remind myself. I'm a first-generation American citizen. My parents are from Jamaica, and I'm the first, hey, Jamaicans are always in the house. And I'm the first person in my family to graduate from college. My parents came to the United States for the reason that most immigrants come, because they wanted to build a better future for themselves and for the family that they hoped to raise. They settled here in Connecticut and originally moved us into a high-poverty neighborhood in Hartford. And when I was young, seeking a safer neighborhood, better schools, and economic security, they were one of the first Black families to move into our neighborhood in nearby Windsor, Connecticut. And our neighbors in Windsor, Connecticut were not happy to have another Black family in their community. And they took every opportunity they could to let us know that. And I remember that one morning we woke up when I was 9 or 10 years old. We woke up to find that KKK had been spray painted on our house and our car. And I had no idea what those letters meant. But what I do remember is the look of sadness and heartbreak in my parents' face when they had to explain to me and to my brother why our neighbors didn't want us there, why our neighbors felt like we did not belong. I saw how my parents struggled. They struggled to overcome the racism directed at them because of their skin color, the xenophobia directed at them because of their accents, the opportunities denied to them because of their economic class. And I also saw how they never stopped fighting to make the future they dreamed a reality. They made a home for us in that house in Windsor, Connecticut, and they still live in that house to this day. They made a place for us in a space that was telling us that we didn't belong. Their journey is what inspired me to become a civil rights lawyer. I wanted to fight for people like my parents and for everyone who dreams. America is built on an idea, the American dream. My immigrant parents talked a lot about that dream, that uniquely American idea that your birth should not define your destiny. But the truth is that the American dream is just that, a dream. We as a country have a history of espousing great ideals, but sorry actions. And maybe the only thing more American than the American dream is our refusal to honor it. The American dream says that it doesn't matter where you're from, who your parents are, what color your skin is, who you love, or how much money you have. If you work hard, then there's no opportunity that is off limits to you. Nothing is out of reach. But we know that has never been true. It has always mattered where you are from. It has always mattered what color your skin is or how much money you have. It has always mattered who you love and how you worship. That is the American reality. And in so many ways, big and small, the history of America has been the story of the American dream edging ever closer to the reality, edging ever closer to the American dream, year after year, decade after decade, and generation after generation. And I think that's what Langston Hughes meant in his famous poem, "Let America be America again." Oh, let America be America again, the land that never has been yet and yet must be, the land where every man is free, the land that's mine, the poor man's, Indians, Negro, me. I believe that he meant that although America has not kept its promise, one day America would truly be the land of opportunity promised to us all. This gap between the American dream and the American reality, of course, is not just an abstraction. It's tactile. We feel it in the neighborhoods where we live, the schools our children attend. We feel it across this beautiful state of Connecticut, a wealthy state that is also intensely segregated by race and class. And in this way, Connecticut is a microcosm of a larger American society. Racial segregation divides Connecticut between communities of opportunity and communities excluded from opportunity. Communities where families are part of the American dream and communities where that dream is perpetually denied. That's what my parents felt when they moved to Windsor. That border between the American dream and the American reality. That feeling that you belong in one America, but are trespassing in the other. Perhaps some of you hear something in my story, something that is similar to your own. If so, I want you to know that you belong here. Know that as you begin your careers, there is no place that is beyond you. So show up each and every day and act like you belong, because you do. And perhaps others of you don't recognize yourself in that story at all. Perhaps you are blessed to feel at home in the elite spaces that are opening up before you. Well, then I want to encourage you to bring others with you. Be one of the people who welcomes others into the spaces that you are in. Expand opportunity and invite others into that circle of opportunity. Be a part of making the American dream a reality. And I also want to talk to you about stepping up when called to serve. As you heard, almost 3 years ago, I was elected president of the ACLU, one of the nation's oldest and largest civil rights and civil liberties organization. And I'm incredibly proud to be the first person of color to lead this organization in its 103-year history. It's a role that comes with an incredible amount of responsibility. But my most important role is to be mother to 2 young Black men. One is in college and one is finishing up high school next year. Like most parents, I want my children to have the world. I want them to be happy, to be safe, to be loved. I want the world to think that they are as beautiful and amazing as I do. I want them to believe that every dream they have is possible. And that's why the ACLU exists, to build a better future for my boys and for all of us. It is not enough for me to pray that the world will be kind to my children and to your children. I need to fight for my children and for everyone's child. Stepping up to help lead the ACLU was really not an easy decision. I am fundamentally a private person. I describe myself as an introvert, and this role is really anything but private. But we are living at an inflection point in American history. Our fundamental principles and beliefs and the mechanisms we rely on to protect our democracy and the rule of law are all threatened. We have a window of opportunity to do the work of dismantling inequality and to build the infrastructure of equality, and I had to step through that window. It was my obligation and my responsibility. The work is never easy, but some days and some years it can feel like we are losing more than we are winning, and the losses really do become harder to bear. The problems we face in this world are deep, they are entrenched, and they're complex. But I truly believe that there is one thing that I know for sure. There is no problem in this world, no crisis, no injustice that we cannot solve together. If history tells us anything, it is that the impossible is possible if we come together as a community. There's a saying in the Black community that we are our ancestors' wildest dreams. And I believe that, and I have felt that so many times before. And each and every one of you should feel that powerfully today as we have this incredible group of people that have come together to celebrate you. You are the dreams of those who have fought and led and organized and survived so that this world could become more free, so that I could be in this place and have the opportunity to serve, and so that you could be in that place and have the opportunity to lead. And as we tackle the crises in our world, remember, it's not going to be easy. Frederick Douglass said, "If there is no struggle, there is no progress. Those who profess to favor freedom and yet deprecate agitation are men who want crops without plowing up the ground. They want rain without thunder and lightning. They want the ocean without the awful roar of its many waters." Today, the fight for freedom takes thunder and lightning. The fight for equality requires the ocean's awful roars. And some days that fight can make you weary. And again, in recent years, there have been a lot of those days. But at the end of the day, It is a blessing to be alive in this moment, to be reaping the benefits of all of those who fought and led and organized and survived before us. But it's also a blessing to be able to serve when your community needs you so much, when you are desperately needed to join the fight. It is a blessing to have the opportunity to work for justice when there is so much vital and important work to do. As you leave UConn and build your lives, you too will be called on to serve. The call may take many forms. For some of you, it will involve careers in public service. It may mean becoming a leader in the private sector. Whatever it is, find the clarity to understand where you can be most effective. Embrace the courage to lead when you're called, and together we can change the world. Congratulations again to each of you, and thank you for listening.